So for the crispy pork, I'm going to use 5% fat lean pork mince, soy sauce, chilli and garlic sauce, honey, garlic powder or granules, and mild chilli powder. And it is going to be a tablespoon of honey, which is 2.5 syns, a tablespoon of chilli and garlic sauce, and that is half a syn, a teaspoon of garlic granules and a teaspoon of chilli powder, and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. First thing you need to do is to turn on your oven. Mine is a fan oven, so I put it on 180 to preheat it, and then spray your baking tray with Fry Light or whichever spray oil that you're using, and then separate the pork or beef, whichever you're using, onto the tray. Doesn't have to be perfect, and in fact when there's a couple of little lumps of meat it is quite nice as well. And then you're going to spray your pork or your beef with your low calorie cooking oil and then pop it into the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes depending on how well you like it cooked. And I did forget to mention that you need some water too. Next, the sauce. So you're going to need to preheat your pan and add your honey, which is 2.5 syns per tablespoon, and there's 1 tablespoon of honey. And then the chilli and garlic sauce I'm using is half a syn a tablespoon, but it did tell me to also use sweet chilli. So what I'm going to do is use extra tablespoons of this because I haven't got the other one. So if you've got any other chilli and garlic sauce, you can use that. And then I'm going to add the soy sauce, which is 2 tablespoons, and obviously this is free on the plan. So I'm going to pop it back onto the heat and then add the rest of the soy sauce. If I'd thought about it, I probably should have used a smaller ring, but there we are. And then I'm going to add the garlic powder or garlic granules this is, so that's 1 teaspoon. Give it a little mix and then add the chilli, and that's 1 teaspoon as well. At this point the sauce starts to get a bit sticky, so you need to continuously stir it so it's not sticking to the pan. And then add some of the water that you've got. Now this is all going to be judged on how you like your sauce, whether you want it or your meal. If you want it a bit saucy, you can add more water. I mean, obviously if you wanted to add more of the ingredients you would need to syn them, but I found that what I've got just coats it enough, so I don't need any more. But some people may like it a bit more saucy or even a bit less saucy. So this is where I checked my menu, my recipe, and realised that there was the extra sauces that I didn't have. So I popped in some more of the chilli and garlic sauce, but it's only half a syn, and obviously I allowed for that because my total syns for the whole portion was 4, and then shared between 4 of us, it worked out at 1 syn each. So that is basically it. The sauce is done. I'm just going to keep stirring it for a little bit longer because the pork is still in cooking, and then take it off the heat so that when the pork is completely done we can just turn it back on and then coat the pork with it. So as you can see, it doesn't make a huge amount of sauce, but it is just enough to coat the pork that you've got, because when you first put the pork in or the beef in, it does look like it's quite a lot, but obviously when you've crisped it up it comes out and it doesn't look an awful lot. So this is the pork when it's finished. Now I did take it out and give it a little swizzle around in the pan halfway through cooking, just to make sure it wasn't stuck together and that kind of thing. Now the first time I cooked it I didn't crisp it up as much as this, and this time I feel like it may have been a little bit too crispy, but it was still gorgeous nonetheless. So then you're just going to pop it into the pan with the sauce, and I probably shouldn't have used a spatula with holes in, but there we are, I did. And just mix it all in together. For the end I do turn the heat back on just to mix it all in, because obviously I'm going to be serving it shortly with my main meal, or for my main meal. So I turn the heat back on and then just heat it all through, make sure it's all piping hot. And I needed to add a little bit more water at the end, So I popped that in. It just wasn't saucy enough for my liking. So a little bit more water, heat it all up and make sure it's all piping hot, as I said. And that is how easy it is to make this lovely dish. And if you do make it, let me know what you think of it, because it's quickly turning out to be one of my favourite meals. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.